Let's hear another one.
All right, this is a Sweetheart of the Picket Line. Behind the line of power, who's a hero and who's a coward? There sits a lonely king at the bottom of a hill. From a monarch to a mothman, bare-knuckled fist gone soft, man. If you only had the weapons or the will. You're outgunned, but they're outnumbered. You're not dumb, but they're not dumber. You don't have the blood to spare, and even less to spill. To hold your disposition, you need better ammunition. If you only had the weapons or the will. If you only had the weapons and the will. The sweetheart of the picket line is marching in 3/4 time, knowing there's no better time to swallow bitter pills. It's a thrill to kill the mockingbird. Well, that's the meanest thing I ever heard. You don't have the weapons or the will. Behind the line of power, who's a hero and who's a coward? Let them have the streets, they're determined to die on. My one true love was sent by fate, testing the mettle of a police state. If you only had the weapons or the will. If you only had the weapons and the will. If you only had the weapons or the will. If you only had the weapons and the will.
As Drunken Prayer on WNCW with another one from his album of this year, and nice guitar work, showing off your guitar prowess on that one.
Snuck one in there at the end.
Yeah. It's a protest song, an activism song, but sounds good too.
Yeah, jams.
It does. Was that I don't know, inspired by any particular event?
Yeah, big time. So like during the all the like the protests out west was also roughly around like was COVID was going on or something. I can't remember.
George Floyd. Summer of 2020.
Yeah, and so like we're living over in Emma, and you could watch live streams of the protests going on at the time, and I would watch them, people just marching through. It's like, oh, there's my favorite donut shop, and there's this, and there's this. So it's kind of like a little travel log. And meanwhile, it's couched in like some pretty horrific violence and everything going on at the same time. So I was making a video for a different song, and I was I do all my own videos, so I sit there and stare at footage all the time. But it was a lot of like police cams, and I was used to like protest point of view, just like what they're saying, the protesters, what they're saying, because it's on the news and people's cell phones. But I was going through a lot of like body cam stuff, just editing this video, and it just struck me as just like how terrifying it truly is from that side of the protesters. Like all that power of the protesters, just like, my God, it's like because they're throwing water bottles and stuff at the police. And I'm not saying this to necessarily take sides here. It was just an observation. It was just like, wow, that is a lot. Talk about power of the people. It's like, it's real, and it was just kind of terrifying seeing it from their point of view. Then again, they've got the law behind them and clubs and guns and stuff, but still, it was just kind of striking. So I wrote that song as kind of a healthy respect for both sides, and turned it into almost kind of a, I don't know, maybe like a Romeo and Juliet kind of a thing, to where it's just like to make eye contact and kind of just like meet elsewhere and just kind of come. I've got this maybe naive point of view that there is a way for us all to live together, because I've lived through those times when it's like you didn't agree, but you're all on the same team. You know what I mean? It's not the offense tying the shoes, tying the laces of the defense's shoes to purposely lose a game. And so that song is kind of like I see it as kind of a peace offering between the two, a theoretical one between individuals and not
the camps from which
not
they
massive
live.
Crowds, two tribes. It's two people. So it's, like I said, maybe naive, but I'd rather live with that.
Yeah. Well, when we play protest songs, or when I hear them, I think of the various activists that maybe get inspired by them and want to spread them and share them with others. But I don't know, a song like that one could also be shared with local police departments. I wonder if the Asheville Police Department or Portland's, or if you could send it to them and have them hear it and weigh in on it. It's like,
on an individual level, you can talk to people. A friend of mine was doing a video during the folks were camped out in Portland. It was before the George Floyd thing. It was a different protest.
It was Occupy.
Oh, it was Occupy. And we were going through and just interviewing people in tents and stuff. And he's like, what are you doing? Where are you from? What's going on? And also police right there who are just like, a lot of them are just as like, I do not want to be here at all. And on an individual level, people are just people that you may or may not agree with, but you can talk to them. And if you can talk to them, you can kind of come to an agreement, and you might even change your mind. And that's what that experience was kind of eye-opening. It's like everybody here is just like, neither one of you are terrible people. You're just and its context means everything, and circumstantial. So I don't know. Why can't we just be friends?
Yeah. Talking with Morgan Gear and Krista DeMaio, Drunken Prayer here this morning on WNCW. You mentioned that your next project is based in Mississippi, a gospel kind of album with some Fat Possum, Drive-By Truckers.
Well, it's the organization is called Dialback Sound. It's Matt Patton from Drive-By Truckers and Model Citizen and Bronson 2, and they run Dialback Sound. It's a studio management booking kind of collective in North Mississippi, and they're all like Alabama, Mississippi guys. And all my family's from down there. I'm from Mobile, and they are ex-Pentecostal church players, and they're used to like fire and brimstone, kind of like pretty rocking gospel music, kind of wild. And I love playing gospel music. I like that side of it a lot, and so they're really good. They're also my rhythm section for that record, and it's all old songs. Some of them are very old, hundreds of years, and most of them are in the kind of like the Zion Travelers, kind of 40s and 50s, and a little bit of the 60s gospel, but just play it like I play anything, so it's pretty garage.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's wild. It's one of my favorite things I've done.
That sounds like a really interesting hybrid. I
love
that.
It's fun.
Okay.
I mean, it is a hybrid. But when I listen to it, it doesn't seem like it to me, because gospel music is so much fun.
All right.
I'm glad I haven't had a whole lot of pushback on it, as far as people from the politically left or right being. I've gotten more pushback from my friends on the left than I have from the ones on the right. They're just like, oh yeah, have fun, jam,
Well, tell him what happened when he first went to go record the vocals. His voice just.
Oh yeah. My voice is completely blown out. It was at the end of a little tour of the South, and we're going to be in the studio for that, and it was completely blown out. It's like, well, we're here. We got to record, ended up it's otherworldly because I can listen to. I usually don't like listening to my stuff that much. But this doesn't sound like my voice, and so I could listen to it a little more objectively.
It's almost like the spirit came through and was like,
Okay.
It was
a
rough.
spirit came through.
It's like you jammed a screwdriver into a speaker.
Yeah. All right. Sounds
Kind of
interesting.
spooky, yeah.
Well, send it to us when
That's
it's
cool.
ready. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
we're finishing up overdubs on at Echo Mountain. Hopefully this week, maybe next week.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Almost done.
Thanks. Yeah,
Cool.
we'll see.